Have you ever dealt with a narcissistic person who starts to become distant and irritable only to suddenly explode in a rage? Or they seem happy and as if nothing is wrong until you do or say something and then they instantly fly into a rage? Or you ask them a question and they explode into a rage instead of answering you? These are all different types of narcissistic rages that have different drives and motivations behind them. In this video, we look at the 3 different types of narcissistic rages and the verbal snap. What is a narcissistic rage? A narcissistic rage is an extreme form of anger expressed by a narcissistic person. It can be expressed verbally and physically. They may curse and scream. Things may be thrown about, upended, broken, or smashed. The narcissist may also verbally and physically attack others around them. Depending on the type of rage, the narcissist may express their anger for being wronged, or it is a defense mechanism intended to restore their sense of self-importance and power. It can also be fake and used as a way to control and manipulate through fear. The slow burn rage. The slow burn rage typically stems from a narcissist's sense of entitlement. They believe that you have wronged them or let them down on several occasions. Narcissists tend to have an inflated sense of entitlement and often expect things from you that they would not do for you. They frequently assume that you should know what they need and want without them having to express it. If you do not cater to their needs, they assume that you do not love or care for them. Some narcissists, especially covert narcissists, believe that they can send their thoughts to you and become upset when you fail to meet their expectations. They think you are not getting their thoughts because you are distracted by, say, your hobbies or friends. Alternatively, they may believe that you do receive their thoughts but are deliberately refusing to meet their entitled needs. Some may even get upset about you getting sick and inconveniencing them. As a result, you may notice a slow build-up of irritation that later turns into anger until the narcissist explodes and unleashes all their frustrations on you. Before this happens, they may become moody, distant, and cold toward you. They may also use passive-aggressive behaviors to express their displeasure instead of bringing up the issue directly. During the rage incident, as a narcissist feels wronged, they may be more open to discussions or attempts to de-escalate the situation if the victim accepts blame and tries to appease the narcissist. After the rage incident, the narcissist may be broody and distant for some time, seeking to punish the victim for making them angry. They may feel vindicated once they believe the victim has been punished enough for wronging them. However, it may take some time before they become friendly again. In some cases, particularly with covert narcissists who never express the original issue, they may hold a grudge or even hatred towards the victim for decades or permanently. This is especially true if the victim continues to fail to meet their entitled needs, which they believe the victim is willfully ignoring. As the victim can see the narcissist becoming moody, it can make the victim constantly on edge as they anticipate the next outburst. The instant rage. The instant rage is usually triggered by a narcissist's fragile ego, which feels threatened by a sudden loss of control or a real or perceived attack on their image or self-esteem. This could be something as simple as spilling beer on them, laughing at their hairstyle, correcting them in public, or dismissing them. When this happens, the narcissist often experiences an intense surge of emotions and reacts impulsively and instinctively, often with verbal or physical aggression. This can be very scary and dangerous, as their response can be sudden and unexpected. Their goal is to reassert their dominance and control, maintain their position of power, and preserve their image. Due to the sudden and unpredictable nature of an instant rage, it is often more traumatic for the victim. If it happens frequently, it can create a very stressful and anxious environment for the victim, as they have no warning of when the next incident will occur and what sets the narcissist off. During the rage incident, because the narcissist's actions are driven by their unconscious need to defend their ego and maintain the sense of power and control, they are often less inclined to listen to reason or respond to attempts to de-escalate the situation, as they can see these attempts as further threats to their image and an attempt to control them. As the transgression against them is tied to their ego, it may feel to the narcissist as if they are defending their life. This makes them more sensitive to criticism, and if the victim tries to defend themselves or downplays their actions, it can cause things to escalate very quickly. This can cause the narcissist's behavior to become impulsive and uncontrolled due to it being driven by their unconscious emotions and impulses, rather than conscious thought or rational decision making. The narcissist may then act in ways that are outside of their normal character, including engaging in violent or aggressive behavior. This can be particularly dangerous in situations where they have access to weapons or other means of causing harm. Because the trigger for their rage is usually a single event, they often calm down quickly if a trigger is removed and they feel their image or sense of power has been restored. They may even feel happy or proud of their actions later. For example, they may brag about punching someone who spilled beer on them and ignore the stain on their clothes. This can be confusing to a victim, especially in a domestic setting where the narcissist minutes later act as if nothing happened and may want to romantically engage with the victim while the victim is still reeling from the incident. However, it can happen that an instant rage spills over to a slow burn rage that has been building for some time. In this case, the rage comes instantly without warning, and when it passes, the narcissist remains irritable and moody for a long time. The fake rage. Some narcissists are aware of the power that their rage can have and intentionally fake their rage as a way to manipulate people. These fake rage incidents are carefully planned and often exaggerated to instill fear and shock in their target. For example, they may break or hide something of theirs and blame you, and then launch into a sudden over-the-top rage when you refuse to accept responsibility. The goal of these fake rage incidents is to intimidate you so thoroughly that you'll be too afraid to cross a narcissist in the future or try to hold them accountable for their actions. If a narcissist feels their control slipping, they may remind you of a rage incident and warn you that you are pushing them to the edge. This tactic can be a very effective way for the narcissist to exert power and control over you. Some narcissists may only fake 1 or 2 big rage incidents at the beginning of a relationship and then refer back to them without needing to ever act out again. Detecting a fake rage incident can be difficult. However, a sudden outburst of anger that is not proportional to the situation or stresses where the narcissist is more focused on controlling or manipulating you rather than addressing a legitimate concern, followed by a quick return to normal behavior, may suggest a fake rage incident. Additionally, genuine rage episodes often make narcissists feel ashamed and guilty, causing them to distance themselves from the behavior. If a narcissist is openly using their anger as a tool for manipulation or control, it may indicate that the rage is not genuine. The verbal snap. The verbal snap is a sudden, intense, and brief verbal outburst of anger or aggression. Often when you ask them a question they do not want to answer, or try to hold them accountable for their actions. It is a common tactic used by narcissists and abusers to intimidate and control their victims. It is called a snap because it happens so quickly, catching the victim off guard and making them feel powerless. It's important to note that even though it may not escalate into a full-blown rage, a verbal snap can still be very damaging and traumatic to the victim. The verbal snap is a form of emotional abuse and can leave a victim feeling scared, anxious, and uncertain about how to react. It is an intentional and controlled action meant to intimidate, control, and shut down the victim without escalating to a full-blown rage. This way, the narcissist maintains power and dominance in the situation with minimal effort. See the video suggested to you now to discover 5 things never to share with a narcissist and why.